Welcome students. My name is Dr. Praneeth, and today we will see the fourth part of this unit 1 titled benzene and its derivatives. So in the previous parts we have seen different reactions of benzene, and today we will conclude that reactions of benzene by seeing the last reaction, electrophilic substitution reaction of benzene, which is called sulfonation reaction. So let's move on to this topic, sulfonation reaction of benzene. So the sulfonation means nitration means NO2 group, right? We have seen previously nitration of benzene, which is an NO2 attached onto the benzene ring. So sulfonation is similar. It is SO3 attached to the benzene. But there is one major difference here is SO3 not only SO3 attached, it also attached as SO3H, sulfonic acid. Because SO3 is not stable, benzene having SO3 is not stable, so it's attached as sulfonic acid. We will see the detail in this reaction. So let's see sulfonation reaction in detail. The reaction scheme is shown here. Benzene, right? Benzene react with SO3, which is sulfur trioxide. In the presence of fuming sulfuric acid. Fuming sulfuric acid automatically contains this SO3. That's why it's a very strong sulfuric acid. So it's called a fuming sulfuric acid. So benzene reacts with fuming sulfuric acid, which contains SO3, to produce benzene sulfonic acid as the product. So product is this product, benzene sulfonic acid. So benzene having SO3H. That's what I said before. Not only attached as SO3, it is also attached with hydrogen also as a sulfonic acid. So the name of the product is benzene sulfonic acid. As we have seen previously for other reaction, we also will explore the reaction mechanism of this sulfonation reaction in detail. So how the benzene is reacting with sulfur trioxide in the presence of sulfuric acid. So here there is a major difference between the other reaction what we have seen and the sulfonation reaction. In the case of sulfonation reaction, there is only two steps in the reaction mechanism, whereas in the other reaction we have seen previously, so all are having 3 steps. So this is a very important difference. So let's see the reaction mechanism. So this is the first step in the mechanism. Benzene attacks the sulfur atom of the SO3. So this is this SO3 and the benzene ring. We already know that benzene ring having 6 electrons, right? 6 pi electrons, which is, so it is electron rich, and it can attack the sulfur, which is electropositive, because this is attached to oxygen. Oxygen is electron negative atom, right? We have studied that. You must have studied previously. So electronegative atom means it takes some electrons from the sulfur, making this sulfur as little bit positive, because it takes some electron, this oxygen. So this benzene attacked onto the sulfur, not onto the oxygen, because oxygen is electron, it is already having some electrons. So this is more electropositive. So benzene attack onto the sulfur. So what you will get is this resonance stabilized intermediate. Okay, so this is the this is a new bond formed here between the benzene and this SO3, and then SO3 becomes SO3 minus here, and there is a positive charge onto the benzene ring. Inside the benzene ring there is a positive charge, and also this SO3 becomes a negative charge. So this is the resonance stabilized intermediate. Okay. And as we have seen previously, this resonance stabilized intermediate we can draw 3 different structure, right? So this double bond in the middle can transfer to the this bond, this area, and then this positive charge automatically moves onto this carbon. Similarly, in the next step, this bond moves here, and then positive charge goes here, and this bond moves here, and then positive charge will move here. Like that, it can this can go like a cycle. So basically, it stabilizes this intermediate by moving this charge negative to positive, right? This is a negative charge because it's a pi electrons. So this intermediate is gets stabilized. So what is the first step? Benzene attack onto the sulfur atom of the SO3 and forms this resonance stabilized intermediate. This is the first step. So what happens in the second step? In the second step, this resonance stabilized intermediate forms the product, right? Because it's only two step here. So this resonance stabilized intermediate forms the product. So in here, I have taken one of the resonance stabilized structure. So I have took this structure. You can also take this structure. You can also take this structure. It's not a problem. You will get the same answer. The product will be same. Benzene sulfonic acid is the product. So for in my case, I took this structure. This is I have shown here. This is one of the resonance stabilized intermediates. Okay, so what we can do, what happens here is, in the second step, proton transfer occurs. So proton is transferred from here. This is a proton, right? The proton is transferred from here to the SO3 minus. So there is a minus charge here in the SO3. So this proton gets transferred. So this is shown using this red arrow. Okay, so this proton is transferred here. So what it forms when it transfers a proton to SO3, it forms sulfonic acid, SO3H, right? And then proton is gone. So what about this bond? This bond moves inside. Okay, this bond goes inside, and then it forms an aromatic compound, right? Aromatic compound is having a delocalized double bonds. So that is the product is formed, benzene sulfonic acid having 3 double bonds in the center and SO3 group at the top. So this is the product. So we have seen today the last reaction, that is the sulfonation of benzene, and whereas the resonance stabilized in the first step there is the formation of the resonance stabilized intermediate, and in the second step the resonance stabilized intermediate forms the product. Okay. So far what we have seen, this reaction I have provided here in the summary. So we have seen first the chlorination reaction, right? Benzene react with chlorine to form the chlorobenzene as the product. Similarly, we have seen the bromination reaction. The product is bromobenzene. We have also see all the reaction mechanism of these two reaction. We have also seen the nitration of benzene. Product will be nitrobenzene as a product. Friedel-Crafts alkylation, where the alkyl group is attached onto the benzene ring. We have also seen the Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. Acylation is the CH3CO attached onto the benzene. And finally, we have seen the sulfonation, where SO3H group attached onto the benzene. So it is very easy to remember the reaction of benzene. Only thing is, the benzene is there, another group is coming and attaching, right? In the case of chlorination, chlorine atom is attached, bromination, bromine attached, nitration, NO2 is attached as a product, like that. So it is very easy to remember this reaction, and you have to understand the reaction mechanism of for each of the reactions. Most of the reactions are very similar reaction mechanism, and the last is a little bit difficult. Sulfonation reaction is a little bit difficult, a little bit different. The reaction mechanism is slightly different. So with this, we will move on to the next topic of this unit, that is the orbital picture of benzene. Okay, so what is the orbital picture of benzene? We already know the structure of benzene, right? Now we should know the orbital structure or orbital picture of benzene. So first we should know what is an orbital. This is just a review. Students should be aware of what is orbital. Orbital is a place where electrons can be found, right? Electrons are moving, but it is specified in a particular region in 3-dimensional space, that is called as orbital. So orbital is a place where electron can be located, right? So here I have also shown the shape of the 2 orbital. S orbital and p orbital. There are different orbital S, p, d, f, but we only look for organic chemistry. We only important thing is S and mostly S and p orbital. So S orbital is where the electrons are present in the S orbital, and also p orbital also electrons can be present, because orbitals is the place where electron can be present, right? So let's see the shape of the S orbital and shape of the p orbital, which is more important in the case of pharmaceutical organic chemistry. Here first I have drawn the axis, x axis, y axis and z axis. So it is just an imaginary axis, right, in the three-dimensional space, just an imaginary axis, and we can see now what is the shape of the S orbital in the three-dimensional axis space. So S orbital is I have drawn here like a circle with purple color inside. Means in this S orbital is a spherical shaped structure where the electron is found. So it will be a spherical, orbital shape is spherical. So one maximum 2 electrons can go, right? In S orbital only 2 electrons can accommodate. So it is it's a spherical shape. So it is a spherical shaped structure. So S orbital. What about the p orbitals? What is the structure of the p orbitals? We also see the axis first, right? And so with an axis. So there is only one S orbital. There is not more than one. So only one S orbital is present. Whereas in the case of p orbital, there are 3 p orbitals can be present, is obtained. Okay, 3 p orbitals are present. We will see the structure of each p orbitals. First, I have drawn the structure of the px orbital, because this orbital is in the x plane. So on the x plane like this. So for example, imagine this axis is like this. It is the p orbital is present in the x plane. So it is called as px orbital. So this orbital shape is like this lobes, like the dumbbell shape. So p orbital is a dumbbell shapes. P orbitals are dumbbell shapes. What is the next one? Next one is py orbital, because this orbital lie on the y plane. Okay, it's on the y plane. So it is called as py orbitals. Similarly, in the pz orbital is the orbital is having lying on the z plane. So there are 3 types of p orbital. One is px orbital, py and pz. You can also draw I have drawn the structure in 3 different structure, but you can also draw in one picture, right? One here in the x-axis, one here in the y-axis, and one here in the z-axis. So you can draw the 3 p orbital in one structure. But for clarity, I have drawn in the 3 pictures. So what is the important point here? S orbital is spherical, right? So electrons are accommodated in this spherical orbital in S orbital. There is only one S orbital, and p orbitals are dumbbell shaped. There are 3 p orbitals, each axis. X axis 1 p orbital, y axis 1 p orbital, and z axis 1 p orbital. So we know now what is on orbital and what is the shape of the orbitals. So how many electrons are present in each of this orbital, p orbital? For p orbital, each orbital carries, px orbital carry 2 electrons. So total you can accommodate, you can put 6 electrons in total p orbitals. Okay, because there are 3 p orbital, each orbital takes 2 electrons, so total is 6. So we can accommodate 6 electrons in the p orbital. So now let's see orbital picture of simpler compounds, because benzene is very complicated, because it is having 6 hydrogen and 6 carbon. So it is drawing the orbital diagram of benzene is more complicated. So to understand better, first we should understand orbital picture of simpler compounds or simpler molecules. For this case, first, so this is just for the understanding only. There is no need to, for the examination purpose, this is not needed. It's only to understand the concept of orbital picture. I am providing the orbital structure of hydrogen molecule and one more simpler molecule, which is water. So let's see hydrogen molecule, orbital picture of hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule is H2, right? It's a gas, it's a H2. How it forms? It forms with two atomic hydrogen. Two atomic hydrogen combines to form one molecular hydrogen. This is shown in the reaction. So this is one atomic hydrogen, and this is second atomic hydrogen, and this is the it forms to form the molecule, molecular hydrogen. Molecular means more than one atom, it will become, it is called as molecule. So this is the structure of the hydrogen molecule, H2. So one hydrogen, and there is a bond in between the two hydrogen atom. There is a bond which is called as, what type of bond is this one? You must have studied in the higher school that this bond is called as sigma bond, right? Sigma bond. So shown here in the red color. This bond is formed by the sigma bond. This is called as sigma bond. So single bond is normally a sigma bond, and the double bond is having two bonds. So one is sigma and one is pi bond. So this is only one bond is present, which is a sigma bond, SiGma, sigma, which is symbol is here, sigma. So this is the structure of, rough structure of the hydrogen molecule. Let's see the orbital picture of the simpler this hydrogen molecule. For this, we need to understand the electronic configuration of hydrogen. Right? Before going to the orbital picture, first we need to understand the electronic configuration. How this one electron, this electron is arranged in the atom. This is called as the electronic configuration, how the electron is arranged. We all know that in the hydrogen atom, only one electron is present, right? The hydrogen is the first atom in the periodic table, so it's only one electron is present. So this electron is present in the 1s orbital, the first s orbital. So it is present in the s orbital. You have seen the structure of the s orbital, right? Spherical structure. So this one electron is present in that spherical orbital. We can also draw the box diagram. This is also very easy to understand. This box means orbital. Okay, we have shown previously. Have shown in the ball spherical diagram. Spherical. That is also. This is also the same. The box means the orbital, and one electron is present. This for the first hydrogen. This hydrogen. For this hydrogen, this one electron is present in the 1s orbital. So electronic configuration of is 1s1. Similarly, the second hydrogen atom, this one electron also is present, right? This is present in the 1s orbital. There are two hydrogen and two 1s orbital, and two electrons are present. So this we can now show in the orbital diagram. So this is the atomic orbital of hydrogen, right? This box is written like this, spherical. This is real structure of hydrogen. This is atomic orbital of hydrogen, and this is atomic orbital of the second hydrogen. And there is one electron is present here, and another electron is present here. What happens is these two orbital come closer and closer, such a way that it forms a hydrogen molecule. So this two orbital comes very close and forms a bond to form the sigma bond, and this is the orbital picture of the hydrogen molecule, where the two atomic orbital comes closer and form this hydrogen molecule. So this is the orbital picture of the hydrogen molecule. So we can bring this two atomic orbital, this orbital come closer and forms this hydrogen molecule here as shown here. So this is the orbital picture of the hydrogen molecule. So this is a concept of orbital merging, right? One orbital merge with another orbital to form a new molecule. What about the another simple example I will show you for orbital picture, which is called as the water. Okay, this is a water molecule H2O. Okay, how this forms is H2 plus oxygen gives water H2O, and this is the structure of the water molecule: one oxygen and two hydrogen with two bonds. This two bond is called as, we already know that for the hydrogen molecule these two bonds are called as, one bond is called as sigma bond, and here similarly in water these two bonds are called as sigma bond, right? Because there is only it's a single bond, so it is a sigma bond. This is structure of water molecule having one oxygen and two hydrogen and two sigma bond. So now we can draw the orbital structure of the water molecule. Before that, as usual, we need to check the electronic configuration of hydrogen, because hydrogen is present, and also for oxygen, because in the case of water molecule oxygen is also present. So the electronic configuration of, there are two hydrogen are there, so electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1s1, and the electronic configuration of oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So this is the electronic configuration of water molecule. Oxygen. So for the drawing the orbital diagram of water, we normally consider only the valence electron, valence shell. What is the valence shell? Is the last shell of, because for a atom there are many shells, right? One is K shell, L shell, and M, like that. We have studied, you must have studied this. So for the orbital picture diagram, we will consider a valence shell only. So for valence shell is the last shell where the last electron is present. In the case of hydrogen, there is only one electron. So that one electron is present in the K shell in the S orbital. So I have written this as the valence shell. 1s shell as the is the orbital. So valence shell is K. Similarly, in the case of oxygen, the K shell is filled. That 1s is present in the K shell, right? That is filled. So I have not shown here. I have shown only the valence shell. Valence shell having, valence shell is L, and it is having 2s and 2p orbitals. Right? These two orbitals are present in the L shell. This is the valence shell for oxygen. And in that one there are 2s and 2p orbital. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, and 2p4. So we see only that last shell, the last two orbital, 2s and 2p. So there are 6 electrons are there. How to fill this? First we fill these 2 electrons in the 2s orbital, and then remaining 4 in the p orbital. So one electron, one electron, one electron, and the next electron will come here, and then will pair of anti-parallels, or it's called as pairing. So these 2 electrons are paired here. So how many unpaired electrons are present in the oxygen? There are 2 unpaired electrons, right? One, this one and this one. And how many bonds needed to form the oxygen with in the case of water? There are 2 bonds. So there are 2 bonds are present, right? And then in the there are 2 sigma bonds are present. So you need 2 unpaired electron. So this is present in the oxygen. So it can easily form bond with 2 hydrogen. So we will see in this next slide. This is the orbital of the hydrogen, the first hydrogen. The 2 hydrogen is present in water, right? This is the orbital of the first hydrogen. This is orbital diagram. This is 1s1. One electron is present here, and this is the second orbital where the second electron is present here. So there are 2 orbitals of hydrogens have shown here. So next, what we should know, what we should get, the orbitals of oxygen we need to put, right, to make it complete. So this is the valence orbitals 2s and 2p, right, having 6 electrons and 2 unpaired electrons. And this is the orbital diagram of the 2 unpaired electrons, the p orbitals. So this one unpaired electron is present here in the 2py, right, in the 2py, and another unpaired electron is present in the 2pz. 2px, how many electrons are present? 2 electrons. But I have not shown here because we need only the valence, this is unpaired electron only, because unpaired electron only will react to form the bonds. So we should consider only this unpaired, 2 unpaired electrons. So what will happen? This 2 hydrogen interact with this p orbital, 2p orbital, and form the bonds, right? So one hydrogen atom orbital bonds here and another hydrogen atom bonds here. It forms the orbital picture of water. This is the orbital picture of water. So like this we can draw orbital picture of all the compounds. So how this formed? Because this is the 1s orbital and this is the 1s orbital of hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, and we consider only the unpaired electrons of hydrogen of oxygen, because we need only 2 unpaired electrons to form 2 bonds with 2 hydrogen, right? So 2 unpaired electrons already is present. So we have to draw the orbitals of this 2 unpaired electron. So this unpaired electron is present in the py. So I put the py orbital here drawn, and this unpaired electron is present in the pz orbital. So I put the pz orbital here, and then this bonds with here, and this hydrogen bonds with here to form the 2 bonds. So structure is like this. So it's like an angle. So water molecule structure is like this. Okay, this is oxygen, and this one hydrogen is here, one hydrogen is here. It's like an arrow type structure. Now let's move on to see the orbital picture of benzene. So this we cannot complete the orbital picture of benzene from today's class, but let's see some introduction. So before looking into the orbital picture of benzene, let's see the structure of benzene, right? Benzene, we already know that 6 hydrogen and 6 carbon. But in this one, we normally write the structure of benzene, but we won't clearly mention how many hydrogen and how many carbon. It should be understood. But here, for clarity, I have written the complete structure of benzene, which contains 6 carbon, I have shown in the orange color, this is carbon, and 6 hydrogen and 3 pi bonds. Okay, 3 pi bonds, right? 3 pi bonds. So this is the complete structure of benzene. Let's look again this structure of benzene, and you can see some important properties. In benzene, each carbon atom contains how many sigma bonds? 3 sigma bonds, one single bond, 1, 2 and 3 sigma bond, right? It's contained each carbon, this carbon is contained 3 sigma bond, this carbon is contained 3 sigma bond, like that. Each carbon contains 3 sigma bond and 1 pi bond. The double bond is called as pi bond. This bond is called as pi bond and 1 pi bond. So each carbon needs 4 bonds, right? Each carbon needs 4 bonds to form a benzene ring, right? For example, you can see that this carbon contains 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. This carbon contains 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds, like that. Each carbon needs 4 bonds, 3 sigma and 1 pi bond to form the say benzene ring. So how to form these 4 bonds? If we see the electronic configuration of carbon, which is 1s1, 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4, we take only the valence, this last shell, which is 2 is the last shell, right? 1 is the previous shell and this 2 is the last shell. We take only the valence shell, which is contain 4 electrons, 2 in the s and 2 in the p. This I have shown here, 2 electrons in the s orbital and 2 electrons in the p orbital. So 2 electrons are arranged here, 1 here and 1 here, so the energy is less. Also we note that the 2s orbital is slightly less, I have drawn slightly below the 2p orbital, because 2s is orbitals having lesser energy compared to the 2p orbital. 2p orbital is little bit more energy than the 2s orbitals. So I have drawn in slightly decrease the height of this 2s orbital for showing that the energy of the 2s orbital is less compared to the 2p orbitals. So this is the electronic configuration of carbon. Okay, you can see that in each carbon atom in benzene, we already know, we have seen, I have told you that each carbon atom in benzene needs 4 bonds, 3 sigma and 1 pi bond to form the benzene ring. But however, you can check here how many unpaired electrons are present. Only 2, right? 1 here and 1 here. However, only 2 unpaired electrons are present in the valence shell. That is, one in the 2px orbital and one in the 2py orbital. With 2 unpaired electron, how to make 4 bonds is impossible, right? Because we need 4 unpaired electron to make 4 bonds, right? 4 unpaired electron of carbon react with one hydrogen to form the 4 bonds. So we need 4 unpaired electrons. But here you have only 2 unpaired electrons. So this is the very important point in this lecture, how to get the 4 unpaired electrons. So what we will do is, to make it 4 unpaired electron, 1 electron from the s orbital moves to this empty 2pz orbital. This is a very important point here. 1 electron is transferred to this orbital. So this is called as hybridization, right? Hybrid means mixing between one and another one. And here we are mixing the s orbital with the p orbital. We are mixing. It's called as orbital hybridization or simply hybridization of orbitals. So what will happen? You will get 4 unpaired electron here. You can see 4 unpaired electron. Importantly, now I have drawn all the 4 orbital in equal line. That means this hybrid orbitals are equal in energy. Because we are mixing 2s and 2 electron from 2p orbital, it is called as sp2 hybridized orbital, right? Because it's 1 2 and then s is 1 s orbital and 2p orbital we are hybridized mixed, and we obtain the sp2 hybridized orbital as shown here. So sp2 hybridized orbital contains 4 unpaired electrons. This is a very important point here. So we got the 4 unpaired electron. Now we can make 4 bonds, right? So this one we will see in the next class, how to make the 4 bonds and how to get the orbital picture of complete orbital picture of benzene. So this is for today's session. So in the next class we will see how to make the orbital picture of benzene by using this hybridized orbitals. So I will see you in the next class, and I thanks for all of you for your attention.